You've got your own lane with your own name on it. Other people are meant to be inspiration, not imitation. Can I be honest with you? I did a dangerous thing this morning. I checked my Facebook before I checked my emails, before I brushed my teeth, before I had my coffee. Big mistake, huge. By the time I put my phone down, I'd seen someone else's brand new Toyota Fortuner. Someone's kids getting 3 distinctions in 3 different languages. I've seen someone's quick weekend away to Mauritius. And I've seen someone's braai that looked like it belonged on the cover of a magazine. Perfectly chops, ice in the cooler box, and everybody's laughing like they don't have a single load shedding schedule to worry about. And I sat there in my kitchen, in my tracksuit pants, thinking of my 2008 white Toyota Corolla while eating cereal out of the pot because I don't want to wash the bowl. And I thought to myself, Lord, why is my life so lame? Here's the thing though. Nobody posts the queue at Home Affairs. Nobody posts the fight they had in the car on their way to that perfect getaway. Nobody posts the overdraft that pays for the Fortuner. Facebook and Instagram, it's not a documentary. It's a highlight reel. It's the best 5 seconds of somebody's week, dressed up and filtered, and we are comparing it to the worst 5 seconds of ours. And that, my friend, is the trap we're going to talk about today, comparison. This is the 3rd talk in the series Emotion Erosion. And we're looking at the emotions that try to run our lives if we let them. And today's emotion has been around a lot longer than Instagram or Facebook. It's older than taxis. It's older than load shedding. It's older than the Springboks. It goes all the way back to the first family on earth when a guy named Cain looked at his brother Abel's offering and thought, that's better than mine. And it ended in murder. That's how old and that's how dangerous this emotion is. Today we're talking about envy, the trap of comparison. And by the end of this talk, I want you to be able to look at this emotion in the eye and say, with a straight face, envy, you're not the boss of me. So here's the first thing we need to understand about comparison. Comparison is an appetite that can never be satisfied. Never. There's always someone with a newer phone, a nicer house, a faster car, a better body, a better following. Always. You could have a brand new BMW parked at the church on Sunday and somebody will still roll up with something nicer and you'll feel that little sting in your chest. You upgrade from a Corsa to a Polo and now you're mad about people with a Polo GTI. And then you get a Polo GTI and then you want an Audi. There is just no finish line. You know, it's like biltong. You think one strip is going to be enough, and then before you see the whole bag is gone and you're still not satisfied. Comparison isn't a competition you can win. It's a treadmill. You run as fast as you like. You're not going anywhere. And the exhausting part of this is, most of the time, the person you're comparing yourself to isn't even racing you. They don't even know you exist. You've entered a competition all on your own against someone who never signed up to compete. So that is the setup. Now, let's go deeper, because comparison isn't really the disease. It's just a symptom. So to understand what actually is going on, we need to get to the source. So Jesus had a run-in with some of the religious leaders who were obsessed with outward behavior. They were obsessed with what you are allowed to eat, how you wash your hands, what rules you should follow on the outside. And Jesus basically told them, listen guys, you're looking at the wrong place. It's not what you put into your mouth that makes you a bad person. And then Jesus said this, but the words you speak come from the heart. That's what defiles you. From the heart comes evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. Notice what Jesus is doing here. He's not saying, watch your mouth. He's saying, watch your heart. Because your mouth is just reporting on what's already happening in here. Your words and your actions are basically the delivery drivers, and your heart is the warehouse. If there's junk in the warehouse, don't be surprised when junk shows up at your front door. So here's an uncomfortable question for us today. When was the last time you monitored your heart instead of just managing your mouth? Most of us are really good in filtering what comes out. Huh? We know not to say that jealous thing out loud. We know not to post that petty comment. Not to let the, oh, must be nice, slip out at dinner table. We've got a great filter. But a filter on your mouth doesn't fix a warehouse full of envy. It just hides it. For now. Envy doesn't usually announce itself with a trumpet. It's quiet. It shows up as a slightly too long pause before you say, congratulations. It shows up as scrolling past somebody's good news post a little faster than you scrolled past the last 10 posts. It shows up as feeling strangely tired every time a certain person's name comes up. That's the heart, reporting for duty. Now let's talk about the consequences, because envy isn't just an unpleasant feeling, it does real damage. And nobody wrote about this more honestly than King Solomon. Now this is a man who had everything, the wealth, the wisdom, the wives, way too many, but that's another sermon. And he still wrote two of the most brutally honest books in the Bible about how empty comparison and ambition can leave you. Listen to this. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. Let's read that again. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body, but jealousy is like cancer in the bones. Cancer in the bones. Not a headache, not a bad mood. Cancer. Something that eats away at you from the inside, while on the outside you might look completely fine. And that's envy. It's not visible on the outside, but it is quietly destroying something on the inside. Your peace, your relationships, your joy. And here's the cruel irony. The person you're envious of usually has no idea there's even a competition going on. You're not fighting them, you're fighting yourself and losing while they're out there living their life, blissfully unaware they've been entered into your personal comrade's marathon. Solomon takes it even further in Ecclesiastes. He says, Then I observed that most people are motivated to success because they envy their neighbors. But this too is meaningless, like chasing the wind. Chasing the wind. That's Solomon that says this. Have you ever tried to actually catch the wind? You can feel it. You can hear it rattling roofs during the Cape Town southeaster, but you cannot catch it. You cannot hold it in your hands. That's what Solomon says most of our striving is. Chasing something we can never actually catch, because the moment we catch it, the goalposts move again. This is why so many successful, accomplished people are miserable. I'm not saying all, but many are. Not because success is bad, but because if the fuel behind the success was envy, you know that I need to prove I'm better than my cousin. I need to show my old boss. I need to keep up with that guy from the school. If that is the fuel, then there is no finish line. You can hit the target and still feel empty, because the target was never really the target. Being better than someone else was the target, and the job never ends there. Okay, so envy rots the bones, and chasing comparison is chasing wind. Great, glad we cleared that up. Now what do we actually do about it? Well, Solomon doesn't just diagnose the problem, he gives us a good way out. Let's look at 4 shifts that needs to take place in our mind. 4 shifts. Shift number 1, choose the one handful. What do I mean? Well, Solomon said, and yet, better to have one handful with quietness than 2 hands full with hard work and chasing the wind. One handful with peace beats 2 handfuls with stress every single time. This flies in the face of everything our culture tells us. We think more is better. But Solomon, the richest man who ever lived, is telling us that the size of the handful matters way less than whether you can actually enjoy it. You can have a small flat with peace, or a big house with a knot in your stomach every time the bond statement arrives. You can have a reliable little hatchback that takes you from to work with a song in your heart, or you can have a flashy car that gets you to work with a car payment sitting on your chest like a taxi that just cut you off on the highway. Choose the handful you can actually hold without your hand shaking. Then Solomon continues, which brings us to shift 2. Ask, for whom am I toiling? Solomon says, this man was all alone, without a child or a brother, yet he worked hard to gain more and more wealth. But then he realized, who am I working for? Why am I giving up so much pleasure now? It is all so meaningless and depressing. Sure, it's actually such a sad picture. Here's this man grinding, hustling, accumulating. For who? He stopped and he realized there's no one even watching. Solomon wants us to ask the same question about our own striving. For whom am I toiling? Whose approval am I actually chasing when I post that photo? Or when I buy that thing? Or when I take the extra shift that I don't need? Is it God? Is it my family? Or is it someone who, if we're honest, probably isn't even paying that much attention to us in the first place? an old school friend, a colleague, a version of ourselves we made up in our heads. Who do you want to impress? And then the other question, why? Sometimes the most freeing question you can ask is simply, who am I actually performing for right now? Because if the honest answer is someone who isn't even watching, that's a really expensive audience to be performing for. Solomon continues, and that brings us to shift number 3. Stay in your lane. Here's something that I want you to lock in today. You cannot experience God's purpose for your life while you're distracted by His purpose for someone else's. You are not called to live your neighbor's life. You are not called to run your cousin's race or your workmate's race or that influencer's race. You've got your own lane with your own name on it. Other people are meant to be inspiration, not imitation. Look at someone doing well and let it fuel you. If it's possible for them, maybe it's possible for me too, instead of letting it defeat you. There's a massive difference between I want to grow like that and I want to be like that. One builds you, the other one quietly erodes you. And remember, that's literally the name of this whole series, emotion erosion. So today, choose to count your blessings, not your neighbor's. Look at your own list, your own handful. It's probably fuller than you've been giving it credit for. One of the best ways to become aware of God's presence in your life is to create an attitude of gratitude. By saying thank you, you see God's goodness in your own life. So, be intentional about saying thank you for what you have and stop wishing for what you don't have. Okay, and then the last shift. Shift number 4. Love doesn't compare. And this is a game changer. Jesus, on the night before he died, he gave his followers one final instruction that mattered more than anything else. Here's what he said. So now I'm giving you a new commandment. Love each other. Just as I loved you, you should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. Here's what I want you to see. You cannot compare yourself to someone and love them at the exact same moment. Try it. Generally try to feel envious of someone and love them at the same time. It doesn't work because envy and love are pulling completely in the opposite directions. Envy is fundamentally about you, what you don't have, what you deserve, what's unfair to you. And love is fundamentally about someone else's, their good, their joy, their well-being. Envy shrinks the world down to the size of your grievance. But love expands it. So, if you want to know whether envy or love is currently winning in your heart towards someone, ask yourself this. Am I actually able to celebrate them right now without a but? You know that's such a beautiful house. But I bet you the bond payments are insane. Or you got the promotion. But let's be honest, you were basically already doing that job. Or what about this? Your kids are so well behaved. But that must be easy if you've got a nanny. Every single one of those is envy wearing a compliment as a disguise. The first half sounds generous, and then the but sneaks in and takes it all back. You truly love someone if you can celebrate them. Just congratulations, full stop. So here's the challenge today. Envy is going to keep showing up. It's not a one-time decision. It's a daily wrestling match. But you get to decide who's in charge. You get to look envy in the eyes, the same way you've been doing all series long so far. And you get to say, envy, you're not the boss of me. And here's the most practical weapon I can hand you. Celebrate the very person that triggers you right now. And do it on purpose and specifically. If someone gets the promotion you wanted, message them and mean it. Congratulations, you earned it. If someone's relationship looks like everything you've been praying for, tell them it's beautiful to watch. If someone's business is booming while yours are barely surviving and feeling the slow economy, be the first one to share their posts. It will feel awkward. It might even feel like you're lying to yourself the first few times. But do it anyway. Because you cannot stay resentful towards someone you are actively, deliberately celebrating. Envy cannot survive in an environment of genuine celebration. It's like trying to load shed the sun. It simply doesn't work. Every time you choose to celebrate instead of compare, you're taking your bones back from that cancer Solomon talked about. You're choosing the one hand with peace, and you're staying in your own lane. And slowly, that emotion of envy loses its grip on the wheel. You are not required to win every comparison. You are not required to keep up with everyone's highlight reels. You are required, as a follower of Jesus, to love. And love, real love, has never once lost to envy when we actually let it lead. So this week, pick one person whose success has been quietly bothering you, and celebrate them on purpose before you go to sleep tonight. Just watch what it does to your own heart. Envy, you're not the boss of me.